So cool. Right, and then I'll go ahead and share this in the Vetpreneur Tribe because those guys like hearing about awesome stuff. And we're off to the races. Outstanding. So let's do this. All right. How's it going, everyone? This is Jared with the Digital Battlefield, and today we're conducting a digital diagnosis. That's basically a discovery period, which normally takes me a couple of weeks to do at least. And we're trying to cram as much of that into a 2-hour call as possible. Today we're here with Wade Saxton from Smoke and Bacon. Wade, why don't you tell us a little bit about how you got started?
So Smoke and Bacon came about because we couldn't find any T-shirts that we really liked. Me and a bunch of friends were sitting around one night just having a good time and laughing and came up with all these great ideas. And they're not your normal T-shirts. They're more along the offensive, the politically incorrect side. So we have a lot of fun with that. From there, our growth with Facebook and all that, we ended up growing up to about 100,000 members in our Facebook groups and our pages and things like that. And we found that there was another avenue to go as well with not only the clothing line, but people who really liked our clothing line, who also wanted to have some sort of community to hang out in. So we could be able to get that segmented, targeted audience all in one place. And we ended up launching an app after that. So that's where we are right now.
Awesome, man. So in terms of, let's just, go down the wickets, square one is always about branding. So who is your target audience and what problem do you solve for them? Try to answer both of those in like 10 words or less.
Ooh, that's a hard question to do in 10 words or less. Our target audience is going to be anyone who is tired of the status quo and rebels and free thinkers.
You need that on a shirt.
Yes.
Okay.
So.
All right. And so if I understand you correctly, you're trying to attract rebels and free thinkers who don't have an apparel line that speaks to who they are as a person.
Yes. Yeah, that's a great way to put that.
Okay. The problem with that is that's an intangible concept, right? Right. When you start looking at how do I target my audience, like just think of like Facebook advertising. If you wanted to target your audience, you can't put in a category for rebels, free thinkers, right? So how does that population fit into, say, a demographic?
So that really depends on what we're doing at the moment. So for example, like if we do some, and I don't want to get political, but that's what's going on right now based on current events. Where the money's at, right?
Yeah.
So we're equal opportunity offenders. So don't think we don't sway either way. We're equal opportunity offenders. So for example, if I'm doing some pro-Trump lines, then I'm going to target those types of individuals. If we're doing some anti-Trump lines, I'm going to target those individuals.
Okay. So based on demographics, where does that normally fall for you?
It usually falls between 18 and about 38 to maybe 42 at the most. It really falls within veteran groups.
That's for the anti-Trump versus pro-Trump side?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So everything we do is unique. We can't really categorize
The entire brand.
The entire brand, right?
Right. Okay.
So if we were to do that, it would be from 21 to 22 to about 45 or so, somewhere in there, male and female. That's about as close as we could get.
Okay. So it sounds like every product that you release needs its own product release.
Correct.
Needs its own market research, its own audience research, its own targeting. Okay. Man, that sucks. If done correctly, a lot of work. That's a lot of work, as opposed to just, capturing the audience and captivating people that are directly tied to your brand and whatnot based on one specific demographic. Now you're looking at 5 to 10 different demographics.
Yes. And so we do a lot of data storage.
If you're not tracking shit, you're fucking up real bad.
Oh yeah. So like we just released our new thin line clothing line that's got thin line. It's got the matched shirts, masks, phones, mugs, things like that. And that has a completely different demographic than anything else that we have on our site.
Right, because each one of them you target that specific sector and their family members.
Yep.
Right. Okay, cool. So how is it? I mean, is there anything that's noticeable that you have a problem going on right now? Well, actually, let me back up. For all of that product, is that stuff that you actually produce in-house, or is it all POD stuff? Or
so we actually send out. We contract out.
Okay.
So we try and use as many small veteran businesses as we can to produce that stuff. So we have 3 or 4 that are on call. So when we create a product line and we say, okay, here's our product line, here's the shirt types we want to use, our colors, the whole 9 yards, we send it out for bid to a couple different companies. And we get those bids back and we choose 2 or 3 and say, okay, we're going to use you guys for our print orders. And there's always a 1, 2, and 3. That way, in case one's backed up, we can move, of course, through it. But we farm just about everything out.
Okay. Whenever you launch those products, do you do it in a short launch type of concept, or you have these posted on your website for a long-term purchase opportunity?
They're there for long-term, and we generate some excitement for them. We go through these ups and downs.
Right.
So when we launch a product, for example, we put a lot of effort into it and a lot of time and money and things like that to get that product out.
Okay.
But we've learned over time that just like anything that's good, you can oversaturate.
Right.
So we'll let it ride the curve, and as it starts to fall back down, we'll let it fall off. And in a few months, we'll come back and we'll try it again. If it's going up, we'll ride it up and we'll go down again.
Okay. And so every bit of that, I presume, is print on demand from those veteran entrepreneurs?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Well then, so what brought you here today?
So one of the biggest problems that I have is conversions.
Okay.
So you can get people excited all day long. And we have some pretty good conversions, in my opinion, but I'd like to make them better.
Do you know what they are?
Well, it depends on each product. So
each line is different.
Each line is different, and how we target is different. And some targeting doesn't work, and we have to readdress and target somewhere else. I'll give you a perfect example. One of our current popular ones is our Offensive Tradesman series.
Okay.
So the tradesmen love our Offensive Tradesman series, electricians, HVAC, things like that. Mm-hmm. They all love it. They all talk about it. It's one of our best sellers, but we're only at about a 20 to 22% conversion. I'd like to see that 30 to 40%. Mm-hmm. And I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I don't have any product descriptions on our website.
Something as small as that could be the answer.
Right.
What does your post-purchase, well, let's be frank real quick. If you have a 22% conversion rate on this product, that's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah. Most people average, like a 5% conversion rate. Right. So the fact that you're at 20, is definitely awesome right out the gate. So what does your post-purchase process look like from the time when they put in their credit card and click that button till the time when it's in their hand and even after?
So it usually takes about a week is what it takes to get them that product.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think that's one of our biggest killers is trying to shorten that up. I'd almost like to figure out a way to be able to do that almost overnight, if not second day.
Okay.
Because you lose a lot of momentum the longer it takes for somebody to get something in their hands.
Mm-hmm.
So when they're on our site, they locate the product they want, they add it to their cart, then they go and they check out, standard, all that, fill out their information, and it's sent off. I think that's a pretty smooth process. We can always do something. We can always do something to make it better.
So here's what I'm looking at. As soon as someone buys a shirt, what happens on the website?
So the website sends the order to us and to the vendors we have set up simultaneously. Okay. So we get it simultaneously, so there's no delay in that.
Got it.
It just takes some time to fulfill that. We also send a thank you email. We include a discount for their next purchase in that email, and we update them with emails throughout the process for production, shipping, things like that. So they know where it is.
So the first thing that I would do is take part of that thank you and put it on the page right after where they purchase. So as soon as they purchase and it all goes through, instead of just some text that says, thanks for your money, put in a video, have an actual thank you page that says, hey, you're freaking awesome. Thanks for your business. And you can
That's a great idea.
And you can even input, right? Because you have 1,000 different target audiences, you can have a thank you page for each product line. Right. So we were just talking about, I'm sure you probably have a veteran sector, but you're just talking about the tradesmen,
Yep.
Hey, hey, all you guys out there getting shocked and shit. I know that sucks, but, I know you guys work hard, but, thanks for spending your time here. And thanks for spending money on us. We're not going to let you down. Just
that's
something,
a great idea.
Something quick and simple to personalize every purchase for every person. Another thing.
All of our items are in collection, so I can create it by collection.
Yes. Right. And so after that, though, you have that thank you email. I would actually wait. I would hold off on the coupon. And the reason why is because you want to see what their reaction to the process is first. You want to see what their reaction to the product is first. And so what you want to establish is, you said you have those transactional emails for what the process is.
Right.
That's awesome. Keep those in there, but make sure that those are also personalized. If you're just saying, hey guy, your shirt's in production, that's a problem. You want to say, hey Wade, we just pulled your shirt off the shelf. We're going to start, punching the number today. Something more direct. If you're going to have those types of transactional emails, you want to make sure that they're powerful. They hit home every time.
Because that's what we have right now. It's just generic ones. That's a good idea too.
Right. So in terms of turnaround, a week turnaround, I'm not worried about a week. I used to have a product-based business where I sold apparel and martial arts equipment and uniforms, and I've had to wait for months for product. So a week, I ain't worried about a week. And I wouldn't, if I was you, I wouldn't worry about it a week either. Anywhere in the continental US though, if you can shave off a day, maybe 2 days, that way they get the lead time from order to package at their door is in a week, that's not a problem.
Okay.
But if that whole production process takes just a week, and then there's 3 days in the queue, and then there's 3 days for shipping, now that's 2 weeks, that's a different conversation. So you want to make sure that whoever is producing this product can really hammer in that POD mindset and get it out quickly. Because otherwise you could be using someone like Printful or Printify or somebody else who is most definitely going to have it out within a 72, right?
Okay.
And while I know people in this POD sector who are veterans, I'm pretty sure I know the people who you're talking about. But if that's a service that you're going to provide, you have to deliver. You know,
Right.
you have to compete on that level. You don't have to compete on price, but you do have to compete on speed, because we're in a world where everyone has ADD.
Yes.
You know, we're in a world where if you buy something, the shit was sent out yesterday.
Yes.
You
Everybody
know?
wants it now.
Right. And so to delay that process any further would be a disservice. So the next thing I would look at outside of that would be, what does your packaging look like? You know, do you have product tags? You know when you buy a shirt from the store and they got those little tags, clipped into the back here?
Right.
Do you have anything like that that shows your UPC and stuff like that? Because you could be selling on Amazon, so you definitely would need a UPC at that point. But
No, we don't.
do you have tags? Do you have a custom box? Do you have custom tape? Do you include stickers? Do you have a thank you card? Do you have any other gifts and knickknacks that go inside of it? What does that look like?
So it usually it's just a poly mailer.
Yep.
One of the plastic bags. It's got their information on it. We don't sell any shirts with actual tags in them. We print all of our tags inside.
Okay.
But they don't have any UPCs or anything like that. Nothing special like that. And we haven't really set up anything like stickers or cards or anything. But
Okay.
that's definitely a nice thing to look into.
Is your mailer at least branded?
Yes, that is branded. We send those out for them.
You ship those to the supplier?
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I mean, at least having a branded, poly mailer is a plus. You could even add some stickers and some, small items that go inside of it. With a POD service, personalization is really hard to do, because you're not there. If you were writing the thank you card, how are you going to get that to the POD supplier to be able to put that in there? So maybe you could work out something with them where, I don't know, dude, maybe you have some cards made up and have them handwrite the cards. I don't know. Maybe that's something you could hire them to do for you.
So we just started the brand packaging. We just sent our first ones out. But what we could do is we could bring them in here first and put that kind of stuff in the packages and then send the packages to them to have the product put in.
Yes, but the difference is, if you're getting to that point of bringing everything in-house to personalize the packaging, you have to speed up the POD.
Yeah, that's a good point, huh?
Because of lead time, right?
Yeah.
It's going to take a day in the queue, 7 days lead time to produce, 2 days to get to you. You're busy for the next 2 days, so then it's that third day. So now you're at 2 weeks and you haven't even opened your box to verify your product.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I actually would encourage that you actually have everything sent to you first. That way you can put your hands on it. You can see it. You can actually personalize it that way and provide extra value. That's going to be a no-brainer decision all day, but your production process has to be on point. So something you could do is you could focus on short-run products only, which would be transitioning what you do a little bit. So let me explain what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So you could, let's say you know what, dude? I got a fucking design I might send you. Let's say you create a shirt for firefighters. The product I'm talking about is also for firefighters. It's a thin line jiu-jitsu uniform. It's pretty dope. So let's say you create a thin line shirt for firefighters, right? What's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to research, you're going to market, you're going to advertise, you're going to product launch that shit out to the wilderness, right?
Right.
At that point, all of that shit should be produced in bulk, shipped to your house, personalized, packaged, and sent back out. Every bit of it. And then what happens afterwards, you could do that POD mailer system. That way, any launch has a consistent branded over the top kind of level of bring you into my world, right?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's something you can do for every launch. And then that way that doesn't disrupt your POD system to actually put out the mailers. You still want to have them add a couple of knickknacks or maybe a sticker or something inside of it, but that's easy to do on a mailer.
Right.
But all of that personalization, the thank you card, all that kind of stuff, you want that to be done for the launch.
Okay.
Right. And then every time you get a shipment, do you actually track those shipments? So let's say, you got to order to, let's say it's Tuesday. So you got to order on Friday. The shirt shipped yesterday, Monday. Are you tracking that shirt to make sure it got there?
No, I'm not.
Are you calling the customer to verify they got their product?
Nope.
Are you following up with them in any way, shape, or form?
No, not really.
Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yeah. Yeah.
So one of the things you could do is you could actually track the product, right? When the product shows received, I assume you have an email system, right? An email marketing system. What are you using right now?
MailChimp.
MailChimp. Okay. Build an automation system in MailChimp. Do you have any review system in place?
Yep.
What is that?
It's on the website itself.
It's on the website itself?
Yep, at the products.
Okay, so there's an actual review portion on the product itself.
Yes. Which I haven't really gotten anybody to use. And that's probably why. Because I don't ask them to.
Because you don't ask them to. That's right. And that's what we're talking about right now. So what you want to do is you want to, it actually might be better for you to have them do a review for Facebook or Google or something. And then, ask them to review the company here, Facebook or Google, and then ask them if they want to review the product here on the actual product, right? But the problem you're going to run into is building that out because each order is a different product. Each product's a different link.
Right.
So you might have to, so the Facebook and Google, you can set up for automation every time. They got the product on August the 11th. Go into MailChimp and add a tag to their email. Your automation is going to kick off 3 days later. 3 days after receipt, usually 3 to 7 days is the timeline. That's the best way to do it. That way it gives them time to actually get to look at the product.
Okay.
But also it's still fresh in their mind to the point where, if they love it, they're going to tell you. If they hate it, they're going to tell you.
Okay.
So you want to set that up to be a drip. So from the point when that tag is added, 3 to 7 days later, you want to send out an email asking them for a review for your company, right?
Okay.
That's going to be based off of the product, the packaging, the personalization. Everything that you do for that launch of that product, every bit of that is going to tie into those company level reviews, right? And that's going to be even more prevalent when we start talking about timeline. What's the lead time on this product, right? And then maybe another week later, send them you're going to have to go probably get the actual link for that product itself. But you can send them an email saying, hey, you've had the shirt for a couple of weeks now. How do you like it? Please leave a review so we can make improvements. And you want to frame everything as we're asking for your feedback so we can make ourselves better. Okay. Everything that you do for a review has to be framed like that.
Yeah, because our return customer rate is very low.
Right. And so the reason your return customer rate repeat business, the reason repeat business is low is because a lack of personalization.
Yep.
And a lack of connecting with the actual brand. Like you might have just had one product that looked awesome, right? Especially since you're talking about multiple product lines, multiple target audiences.
Right.
right? So you want to make sure that that level of personalization and you're connecting with the people. So when you're asking for these reviews, that actually helps you connect with them more because you're asking them, hey, if we're fucked up, tell us,
Yeah.
so we can, all we need to know is if there's a problem. If there's a problem, we can fix it. But if you don't tell us there's a problem, we don't know.
Right.
Right.
That's a really good idea. Yeah.
And so that's why connecting with them on that level is highly important.
Okay.
Depending on how your store's set up, you might also just have them do a review on the collection of products. That might be something to look into as well.
Yeah, we don't have that set up. We only have it set up for individual products, but it's definitely, yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, let's be realistic. A shirt's a shirt. So the only thing special about a shirt is either the actual blank product or the design.
Right.
Right. So if you're using the same types of shirts, which I always used Next Level, the 3600. I love that sucker. That's what this one is. If you're using the same types of shirts, then there's nothing special about the actual blank product, right? If you're just using a Gildan shirt, or something generic like that, there's nothing special about it.
Right.
So you got to definitely make sure that your shirt is of high quality, but also after that blank product is there, the only thing left is the design and the quality of the shirt itself, the actual quality of the print.
Yeah, the people love the designs that we have.
Well, then that's definitely a plus. And so you can use that feedback system to get feedback on those products.
Okay.
So what that's going to do overall is going to help you, increase trust in the customers, right? Let's say you started implementing your feedback system today, and December 31st, I see a shirt about Christmas, and it's Santa dressed like Rambo, right? And I go to look at that shirt, and it's got 45 reviews, and everyone says this shirt's awesome. Guess what? If I already love that shirt, and everyone says it's awesome, I'm definitely going to buy. That is what's going to increase that user. That is how you're going to get that conversion rate increased, by proving people to the world, that social proof, showing them, it's not just a great design, it's a great product.
Okay, absolutely. I'm making notes as we go along.
I can see that. Yeah, man. I mean, that's just one thing you can do, which that one thing has about 1 million levels in it, but overall, that's just one process.
Absolutely. It's those things that a lot of us don't think about that can make a huge difference.
It can, right?
Yeah, because we can bring the people in on our initial design and it sells like crazy,
right?
But we want to keep selling it. We want to keep bringing people back. So, right. And that's where that conversion we need to bring up there.
Definitely. Another piece you want to look into is your actual MailChimp list segmentation. Because you have multiple audiences, you want to make sure that they have that they're broken out to their separate lists. So you can actually segment your audience by tags. So you can say, okay, if the category is pro-Trump, put them on this list. If the category is anti-Trump, put them on this list. So you can break it up like that. So that way, whenever you release a new product within that line, you can send out an email to all of them. You're definitely going to have to post it on social media. You're going to want to run advertising, but you can also send emails specifically to those people.
Okay. Because that right now, we just send it out to everybody.
Right. If I'm anti-Trump, why do I want pro-Trump?
Yeah.
If I'm pro-life, why do I want an abortion shirt?
Right.
Yeah. Right.
So the only thing we really segment right now is our veterans versus the civilians, and we need to break that segmenting down more.
You need to fine tune it, because if you can fine tune your audience for that product line, then you can actually do a whole lot more with it. So even just with your normal advertising, so let's say you wanted to do Facebook advertising for pro-abortion. I'm just throwing random controversial shit out there. Let's say you wanted to target pro-abortion, right? So you would target them on a generic ad, and then you would send out that collection of products on that ad. That way they can see directly all of those products in that collection. You don't want to just put your generic link. The reason for that is because you have controversial shit all over the place.
Right.
You want to laser focus them into the area where they need to be.
Okay.
Normally I don't moderate comments, but Heltamino says, "What's up? Social proof is a plus." Yeah, bro. Yeah. It's not a plus. It's freaking gold.
Yeah. So we are set up now that even if Facebook messes with us, they can't shut us down after the last event. So, which is great.
So, you're talking about that app, right?
Yep, we're talking about the app because when Facebook shut us down, when they threw us all in jail last November, they effectively shut down all of our business for 30 days. They pretty much said, no, you're dead in the water. So we stepped out with our own app and everything else. That way, we are now social proof. No one else can tell us no, for lack of a better term.
Right, because you run your own system.
Right.
You own the ecosystem for that, so no one can tell you to fuck off.
Exactly.
Right. Okay. So how has that improved business?
Oh, tremendously. So I'm actually working on our season 2 episode list and
I'm sorry, you're what?
Season 2. Yeah. So we have a lot of veteran hosts that host some of our live streams inside of the app. We have one just about every night of the week for about an hour. And they range from anything from mental health to just plain roasting the world. So there's a lot of good times there. And I was actually working on the sponsor package and all that today, putting together the statistics and everything for all of our numbers for the app versus places like Facebook and other online communities. And the return on investment alone on our own private community versus Facebook and their groups, it's opposite ends of the spectrum. It's amazing.
I mean, how does that work? Like, obviously, if you control the population and the population wants to be there, and you're charging the population to already be there, obviously that's a plus in every direction. But how do you actually take that and monetize that even further?
So our monetization model for our app is we have some free areas for people because we want everybody to be able to participate.
Okay.
But our premium areas are hosted by our live stream hosts, as well as so how can I put this? So there's a lot of boobs, bacon, and beer in the premium area.
That's the 3 Bs, right?
Yeah, the 3 Bs. So the premium members who purchase memberships, they get a couple benefits. They get access to all that. They get access to the live streams, and they get access to a monthly discount code for all the products in the shop. We change it up every month.
What is that discount?
That discount's 15 to 20% depending on what we have going on. I'm sorry, between 10 and 20% depending on what we have going on each month.
Okay.
So figure you spend $5 a month on the membership, you can get that same back off of one shirt purchase right there.
Yep.
Just in the discount alone.
Right.
So that works out really well. We launch all of our products in the app first. All of our premium members get access to them first. That way, if we're not doing a big run of something or it's a limited edition, they have the opportunity to buy it before the general population.
Do you have any products that are limited only to your community?
No, I don't.
Because that exclusivity could elevate the bar, elevate the value for your products.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
You know, how many people do you have in your community?
Right now we have over 5,000 members.
5,000? Okay,
yep.
That's 5,000 across all audiences, right?
That's just in the app.
No, that's across all of your target audiences.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so pick one audience and what's the number for it? Just so I can get a ballpark figure. No, it doesn't need to be exact. Fuck, dude, I'll pick one. It really doesn't matter because what you want to look at is you want to make 1%, right? Whatever the number is. If you got 1,000 people for this one demographic, make less than 100 shirts. I would say make 10 shirts.
Okay.
Make 10 shirts, and then how much can you charge that for? Like, what is your current price on shirts now?
So on the website, they range anywhere between 22 and 29, depending on the design and what's going on, the type of shirt.
Okay.
So we could probably do something around somewhere between, just spitballing, somewhere between, I don't know, 17, 18 to 22, 24 for the app community.
I wouldn't worry about the discount.
Okay.
So what you're looking at is exclusivity, right? There's a jiu-jitsu brand called Show Your Roll. They would do like 100 limited edition designs, and that's it. They'd never run that design again, ever.
Okay.
So you could do something similar where you would have one design specifically for your community, have, I don't know, 1% of the population has the ability to buy it. That's your count. And then charge more because there's less. Simple supply and demand concepts. You have 10 shirts, but you have 1,000 people who want them. You know, that's $50 a shirt. I don't know. You can probably go higher. But I mean, still,
right.
Those designs would have to be on point, but at the same time, creating that exclusivity, creating that frenzy is going to help you sell more. Because you don't have to sell 1,000 shirts for $10. You can sell 10 shirts for $1,000. I don't advise that, but I mean, at the same time, you know, you can sell 100 shirts for, you know, $50 a piece. That's actually feasible depending on the design quality and the quality of the shirt. So what
right
actual
now we get
blanks do you use?
We use the Gildan.
The Gildan?
Yep.
Okay. So I would look at there's one that starts with a B. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. They're American Apparel and Next Level. So this is this shirt here. You probably can't tell, but this is Next Level 3600. It's the unisex, super lightweight, breathable kind of shirt. It's not like that Wiccan level breathable,
right?
But it's thin and it's comfortable and it works. Once I started using these shirts, dude, I never went to anything else ever.
Okay.
So because I'm using a higher quality shirt, I can charge a little more. Right.
All right.
So for those exclusive shirts, you want to go out into the world and find the best possible blank shirt you can find ever.
Oh yeah. So not only do you have the exclusivity of the brand or the design of that shirt, but you have a better quality shirt on top of it.
Exclusivity of the design, rarity of the design, or the volume, and a significantly higher quality product.
I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, man. So what's to stop you from doing, a Wiccan series, a gym series of breathable mesh stuff? What's to stop you from doing a compression series? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff collectively is where it's going to be at. I mean, I could give you like 20 people right now that do all of this stuff, and you could go forth, conquer, and do great things. Like, it's finding those people is hard. It's not hard. Yeah. Especially if you're talking about the fitness sector of things. I could definitely help you find those people. It's not hard. I know even some of the people that you and I know that you're probably even working with probably have some of that as well.
Yep. So, see, like fitness, we haven't done a fitness line yet because I can't figure out how to put, hey, fat ass, run faster on it. Have it celebrate. So.
Well, see, what you do is you put that on the yoga pants for the lady and have her in front of the guy.
Hey, there you go.
Run faster.
Yeah.
Catch me if you can. You know, now we're tapering off, but I mean, still,
Yeah.
you know, you could kick off the topless marathon system. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. I heard a joke one time about somebody saying that so a lady showed up at the door topless and said, "If you catch me, you
Yep.
can have me." Right? That story floated around quite a bit, but I've never seen that happen ever.
Right.
I guarantee you, if it did happen, how many people would be in better shape?
Absolutely.
Right? We're primal creatures. If
Mhm.
that's on the table, steadfast. That's where we're going. I'm just saying, if you're looking to expand into fitness, you could do some crazy antics like that as well. Because what's that going to do? You're already controversial. Why not kick it up a notch?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to look into a fitness line now.
What's nothing's holding you back, man.
No, nothing. Absolutely. Other than time, nothing's holding me back.
Yeah. I mean, really, the sky's the limit on what you can actually do. I mean, it really doesn't matter.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, man. So, what is another area that you think you could probably use some help with? Or something that you might have a problem and not realize what the solution is?
So we have been working recently on the app and the website, bringing up our rankings, our SEO, things like that. And for some people, it's really easy to understand SEO and rankings and all that. And for some of us, this is like, I don't understand. I want it to be on the first page. That's all I want. I don't care.
You want results. You don't care how it happens.
Right.
Yeah.
And we're okay in the, and I did this with Patrick earlier when he put up his post, go see duckduckgo.com and search a name. And we're okay with the direct searches. If you're looking for us, you should pretty much know our website. But if you don't know our website and you type our name in, you get the results you want. But where we don't get any results, and I don't even know if this is possible, I'm sure it is when you type into Google like funny shirts or things like that, and it gives you a list of your options of the websites you can go to. I need to get that up. So I'm not sure how to explain that, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about. And what you're talking about is the difference between a branded, search and a generic search, right?
Right.
Anytime someone searches for your company name, you better be first every time.
Right. Yeah.
Right. If you don't come up first, there's a problem. But the other side of that is captivating people who don't know who you are and bringing them in.
Right.
That's where all the curveballs come from. That's where the complexities come into place. So let's start simple. What is your website built on? You said collections, so I'm guessing it's Shopify?
Yep.
Okay. So there's a whole lot of crap with SEO, right? Some of the simplest things you can do is it's called minify files. So you take your CSS, your styling, the colors, the fonts, the size of the images, all that stuff, how it looks on the website. You take all that into a file and you take out all the space, right? It's like sucking the air out of a room and creating a vacuum. So all that's left is only the actual pieces of things that were in there. And so minifying a file does the same thing. So instead of taking up all this space, you're now just taking up this space. And so that's going to help your website load faster. Another thing you want to look at is image compression, right? You don't need, I have a 27-inch monitor I'm looking at right now. You don't need an image that's 27 inches wide to be on your tablet for your website, right? So you want to make sure that those large, oversized images are scaled down to the proper sizes that they need to be for the website. So those images can be done manually in Photoshop, or you can add in some software to actually do that. I think there's one called like Tiny PNG. There's a few of them out there that'll actually compress the image size for you. So that's something you can do. Actually, I've been looking at Shopify quite a lot the past week. I custom built a site from the debut theme. I took that theme as a baseline and I custom built everything on top of it. So that was fun. But I was looking through the App Store the other day and I saw that they had some SEO apps. They had some image compression and file minify apps as well. So you definitely want to check those out and see what capabilities those have and see what you can take and apply that to your business. But based off of default Shopify, you're left with two real options. The first one is your meta. Every time you're in Shopify, you plug in your title, your description, your images. On the side, you got all your categories and stuff like that. At the very bottom, there's an SEO meta box. That box has the title and it has the description. So you want to make sure that those line up and they look good. Most of the time, the title that you put in by default and the first paragraph of the description is going to automatically populate there.
Right.
But if you need something specific to be there, you need to make sure it's there, right? So for example, if you're in a pro-life collection, this product's in a pro-life collection, maybe you want to add a bunch of pro-life words in that meta description, right? That way it stands out to people. Those catchphrases, the jargon for your demographic. You can do a lot of different stuff like that. The other piece that's going to be highly beneficial for you for Shopify specifically is using tags. Have you ever seen that inside the environment? Yep. On the right-hand side, after all the collections, there's a section to enter in your tags.
Yep.
So if you haven't already heard, a tag is a piece of search content, right? So if you Googled smoke, the word and, not the symbol, and then bacon, all of that is 3 words. You could also do it by smoke and bacon, 3 individual words. So it depends on how you perceive things. So when you're looking at a tag, you don't want to always do smoke and bacon as one tag. You want to do smoke, then and, then bacon. That's 3 tags. So instead of being a possibility to capture people's attention from the word smoke and bacon, now you're pinging off all 3 words.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. All right.
Right. So you want to do that throughout every product, every page, across the board. And all you're going to do is you're going to take any word in the entire page that stands out, you're going to put that in as a tag. You could obviously you're going to put in some description information, so you can actually start as a baseline by inputting content about the design, and then afterwards is content about the blank product. What's the size chart? What's the material made of? Is it 100% cotton? Is it ring spun cotton? All of that stuff. Is there some polyester and some nylon and some rayon mixed in? You want to make sure that chemical breakdown is part of that. Because, some people might be allergic to nylon or rayon. So you want to make sure that they have the ability to see all of that before purchase, because the last thing that you want is to find out a week after purchase that they're in the ER because you had some rayon in their shirt and they're allergic to it.
Right. And then they say you didn't put this on the website.
Exactly. Then you're at fault.
Yeah.
Right. So you definitely want to make sure you have that type of information out there. But once you get that description written, think of everything that you could do, right? So every product is going to fall under several categories, right? You have smoke and bacon tags. You have the, pro-Trump tags. You have the base product tags. Then you have the tags for the design. So you have 4 levels of tags for every product.
Okay. Yeah. Because right now we just tag for the product. I mean, we'll tag. What I mean by that is we'll say men's or women's like that, but then we'll add like the name of the product in there, things like that. But we're not going, like you said, 4 levels deep into them.
Right. Make a list of every tag applicable to the brand. Make a list of every tag applicable to the collection. Or the collection's also going to include, by extension, the demographics, the categories of controversy that you're looking at, right? Pro-life, pro-abortion, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, pro-police, pro-firefighters, pro-veteran, all those different categories. Make tags for each one of them. Make a list of tags. That way, then you can just build a matrix. Okay, this is a smoke and bacon shirt that is pro-Trump, that is veterans, that's using a next level shirt, and this one's about killing the Hodges. That's 5 levels of categories. Throw it all in. Every one of those becomes a tag. So what that's going to do, I know it looks like chaos, but everyone out there
makes really sense.
Everyone out there is probably looking at me like I'm crazy, but so what you're going to end up with is hundreds of tags. Those hundreds of tags tie into your SEO. Those hundreds of tags across 100 products, now you're looking at thousands of tags, right? Now, just people going out to search for stuff, anything that's within that realm of categories, you're going to be seeing a lot more just because you have all those proper tags in there.
So if somebody was looking for veteran shirts or things like that, or pro-Trump or anti-Trump or pro-Biden or whatever, they go just to Google and say, okay, pro-Trump shirts. It would give a better opportunity of those products coming up because of the tags. Okay.
Right. Couple that with advertising for Google. What's that going to do? When I ran my jiu-jitsu company, I would do, $30 to $50 a month for ads on Google. That's it. And you know what that would do though? That would bring in 600 to 1,000 people every month. I also had like 4,000 tags throughout my products. So not only am I advertising, but if they search any of those tags, I'm now being visible as well.
Okay. Get started on that.
Yeah, dude. That's going to take up some of your time.
Yeah.
Once you break out those systems, so you have all these different levels of stuff that's used every time, and then you have stuff that's specific for that product.
Yeah, because you can almost copy and paste the stuff that you use regularly.
You can. That's right. You can copy and paste that list of all of that, and then just add a few on top of that.
Okay.
So just something like that alone is going to boost your traffic. Boosting your traffic to the right people is what's going to increase your conversions.
Right.
Right. Adding that thank you page, following that email sequence, asking for reviews, having that level of personalization, all of this collectively, that's what boosts you up.
Yeah, I like that. Because that should get rid of that. That should get or help limit the hills we experience too, like I talked about at the beginning, where we make all sorts of sales, then it goes down, then we advertise again, and it goes back up, then it goes down. Maybe we can level that out some more.
So what's happening is you're advertising, and advertising is like a slingshot to get your name out there fast.
Right.
When that happens, your sales go up, but when that ad's over, those sales are going to drop because nothing else is happening.
Right. Okay.
So another thing that you could do is you could do something similar to like AppSumo. Have you heard of those guys?
Yep.
So I love AppSumo. These guys are awesome. They have awesome software coming out all the time, right? But what upsets me is that I'll get some shit that looks awesome, I'll buy it, and then a week later some new shit that's 10 times better comes out. So I get upset at that too. But what they have mastered is the art of a consistent barrage of opportunity. Right? How long does your launch plan last? When you launch a product, how long do you run ads for? A week? 2 weeks?
About a week.
Okay. How many weeks in a year?
52.
How many plans can you run?
I could run an infinite number. I just pile them on top of each other.
Well, you don't want to overlap them too much. But you can run a new product every week. You can run a new product every other week. And we're not even talking about, just the different categories and stuff like that. Just in general, you could run one for 1 week. You could launch 5 different products for 5 different categories at once.
Right.
The next week, launch 5 more. The next week, launch 5 more. I don't know if I would stack those up every week. You could probably do once a month for each category. You could probably do every other week, but weekly is probably too much. I don't know. I don't know people that buy a shirt every week.
Right.
So unless you're including some sort of donation plan where they can return it and get a new one, I don't know.
No. Shirts are more of a impulse buy. It's like at the store, all the candy right there at the checkout. It's an impulse buy. You really didn't need it, but it's there, and I'm going to get it. I like it. I want it.
I actually put a lot of thought into my shirts. I don't impulse buy apparel.
Yeah, a lot of people impulse buy apparel. So.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is you're not on the shelves in front of them as they're walking through the store. So what you're doing here is you have to get in front of them quick.
Yep.
Get in front of them, flash them, get them to buy now before they change their mind, and then you're gonna leave. That's how your advertising launch works.
Right.
Right. So all of that post-launch, all that post-purchase stuff is what's gonna keep them interested in you.
Yeah, all the stuff I'm missing right now.
Yeah.
So, I got a big long list running alongside of the computer screen. So.
Oh, I'm sure, dude. I mean, if I was writing any of this down, then it'd be I'm sure everyone's gonna freak out. I might actually have you show the list when we're done, just to see how long it is. But yeah, man. So, is there any other areas that we can kind of hammer out? I mean, we're making great time.
No, I think those are our biggest issues right now is the bringing people back for the conversions,
Mm-hmm.
Bringing, the personalization, follow the product through the process, automate the automation system, MailChimp, personalization, the reviews for the product, for the company, 3 to 7 days after receipt, week later, send an email for the product. So the packaging is going to be a lot of fun because I've been trying to figure out how to do the packaging that I want to do.
What do you want to do?
But I couldn't figure out how to do it, but now this gives me an idea. So
lay it on me, brother. We got an hour.
So we get a lot of people that buy for somebody else.
Okay.
They'll buy a product and send it to someone.
Right.
And it's usually some of our more offensive shirts, and it's usually veterans. We'll walk up to each other and tell each other to fuck off, and it's normal.
Yeah.
Well, what if it got sent in a package that the package on the outside said, industrial size cocks, or things like that. So when it got dropped off on your porch from the mail all the way through, and you came home, there was a box of a lot of funny stuff like that. So I think we can manage that now. So
why not, man? I mean, if you're already controversial, I wouldn't put that on everything. I would figure out what that is for each one of your demographics.
Oh, absolutely.
Put that on there, right? But I mean, even something like that, industrials, 4-foot long assembled dildo or some shit like that.
Yeah. You have to send it to them so they come home when they see that. So, it'll make everybody wonder.
Dude, maybe you can freaking send like, a tri-wall one day.
Yep.
Just have fun with that at times. Definitely know who your audience is.
Yep.
But if you can mail a box within a box within a box and just put funny shit on every level down, I would be pissed, but I would find that hilarious. So it's really dependent on who your audience is, because not every one of your demographics can deal with stuff like that.
Yes.
So it's really important to know who you're sending that out to. But yeah, you can do a lot of creative stuff with packaging. There's a lot of resources out there where you can have your own custom printed box and stuff like that. But I mean, you definitely can get your own custom tape and stickers. I think it's like Mule or something like that can do that stuff pretty simply.
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
I'm looking up. That's actually what I'm looking forward to, is getting to that point where we can do that. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, dude. I actually used to use Uline. They had their folded color mailers. So I bought a red box. It looked like one of those you buy a fancy shirt and it's got the fold out top, right? I had one of those, and I would put these jiu-jitsu uniforms inside of them. That's what I was using at one point in time. So yeah, dude, the packaging definitely speaks volumes on what you're able to do, and that ties into your branding, your personalization, and stuff like that. Realistically, though, I wonder if it would be better for you to break up those demographics. Here's what I'm talking about. So, let's just talk volume for a minute, right? So, Smoke and Bacon, everyone's recognized as the overall brand, right?
Right.
With different collections underneath. So maybe your long-term plan is to actually break those up into separate companies. Maybe you want to break those up into their own dedicated website at a future point in time, because each one of those lines is going to require dedicated people doing dedicated work. At some point in time, it's going to happen. You're going to want people who are experts in, attracting college kids who don't know shit about the real world. You're going to need someone who can do that the most effectively, better than anyone else. And you're going to want them dedicated on that product line. So at some point in time, you might need to consider actually separating into multiple organizations. Smoke and Bacon being the overall, and having sub entities, or even run DBAs for each brand line. That would actually simplify it, because I know for North Carolina, which is where I'm registered, you can submit like 5 or 10 DBAs at once, right? So that wouldn't be too hard for something like that if you just created a DBA for all of them and had a separate website, separate ecosystem, separate personnel for all of that, and then you can all come together and just hammer in on the community really hard. That way you have dedicated people pushing a dedicated product line.
Yeah.
That's going to help people stay more focused. And the reason why you might want to do something like this is because realistically, it's hard as shit to fucking change course and go forth and conquer every time. It's really hard.
It's a ton of work.
Yeah, dude. Like one day I could have a client that's, trying to get medical clients. The next day I can have a client that's trying to sell some houses. The next day I could have a client that's trying to be an electrician. Next day I could have a client that's trying to do AliExpress dropship work. Changing gears like that is insanely fucking hard. To just change gears and fucking, take names and drop kick the world. It's really hard. So if you had people that was dedicated to each one of those segments, that's something I would call a win all day.
Yeah. Maybe something like a 5-year goal or something. Start reviewing it now and see what the potential is, the movement, things like
Right,
that.
because your operation, right, let's look at logistics, right? From a logistical standpoint, it's not going to make any difference. Where it is
Right.
going to matter is your shirt design department and your marketing and copy and advertising. And
Yeah, because you have
social media.
specialists now aiming at that specific group.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't want the plumber trying to sell the HVAC stuff. It just doesn't make sense.
Right. Yeah, you don't want Kim Kardashian trying to tell you what's wrong with your car.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So by separating your audience, you're actually, just like you've done with your community, you have those laser focused groups. It's the same concept, but now you're actually putting people filling those gaps, and you're not having to focus every bit of your efforts in those areas, which lets you focus on more of the big picture, the vision, the mission, which direction are we going today? What's on the road for us? Where's the road?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, dude.
That's good. That's really good.
Yeah, man. We haven't even talked about how much money you make.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that. So,
dude, you know how much money I made this month? $50.
Are you happy?
Yeah, dude.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, dude. Fuck it, man. $50. That's what I've made so far this month.
So yeah, we right now we return, I'd say on average, right now it's higher. So
because everyone's at home.
Well, everyone's at home. We're preparing for season 2 of our live stream, so all the advertising, all the prep work, all that. So we're spending a lot more on that, but we return about 70 to 80% back into the company. So, and then we take the rest of it and we divide that up.
What's that look like? Like just total revenue across all all demographics, your app, all of your efforts in all areas. How's that looking for you in terms of numbers?
So if I was to add it all up, yes. I'm a very segmented person, so I have all my numbers separate. But if I was to add it all up, last month was probably altogether around 15 to 18.
15 to 18,000?
Yep.
Okay. And so how much of that is from the community?
So
from community subscriptions, not any
from community
pushes.
Subscriptions, those are almost 6.
Okay. So are you pushing to have a bigger community?
Absolutely.
Are you advertising to have a bigger community?
No.
Are you emailing every customer you've ever had to have a bigger community?
Yes.
Are you communicating with every person you've ever met to have a bigger community? Okay.
So the community is a unique place.
Okay.
So just like segmenting the products for specific audiences, the community is a unique place.
Okay.
The community is more dark humor, fun.
So it's not for everyone.
It's not for everyone, right? So.
Oh fuck, dude.
Yeah. So definitely, I'm not going to tell the preacher down the street about it. And I may not tell the checkout girl about it or the checkout guy, but I'm going to tell the guys at the VFW. I'm going to tell the guys at work in the trades, things like that. They're definitely going to find out about it. So,
have you promoted this type of humor in the tribe? Because that is an ecosystem. That is your perfect clientele.
So we haven't truly promoted it yet in the tribe.
Well, you got to make sure you don't come off as salesy and spammy and shit.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I mean, at the level of stuff we've been talking about for the type of content you have, it sounds like veteran gold.
Yes. So, I mean, you could literally get away with just about anything in our community, and everybody's cool with it. And really, as a side note, we find that when they come into the community, they have the hardest time understanding that. So.
Understanding that there's no limitations?
Well, there's a few rules, but there's only like 5. So,
Okay.
But people are so used to like Facebook and other social medias where their families are there, or if they post the wrong meme or statement, they're going to get banned or thrown out or jailed.
Right.
We don't have any of that. So it usually takes about a week for a new member to truly become comfortable with, hey, I can be me and I'm going to fit right in. So, there's some few rules, and they're mostly along the lines of what Apple and Google require and common decency. But other than that, you can just pretty much do whatever you want.
Okay, so no porn. Anything else goes.
Oh well, no, you can do porn. There's a few groups for that, but you can't. There's no dig. Yeah. So pretty much it's topless women are okay, but keep the pants on.
Yeah.
Because Apple and Google don't like pants off.
They don't like a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So we deal with that. Matter of fact, side note. So like I said, we're equal opportunity offenders. We welcome everybody in the community. And we have some alternate lifestyle individuals with their groups.
Okay.
And sometimes you get questions that you never thought you would be asked in your life. So we got asked the other day to create a group for like we have the ladies of Smoking Bacon. For the ladies that are in there, they can show off, they can do whatever they want. It's one of the premium groups. Within the group rules. Pretty much tops off is fine, bottoms have to stay on.
Okay.
But they asked to create a group for the gay men, an uncensored gay men group, and I was like, how would that work?
Same rules apply.
So, well, you can't show anything from the waist down. How does that work?
Same rules.
Yeah. So we actually had a long conversation on how to figure that out, because there's no difference between a topless guy and a regular post somewhere before we open those doors. So we ended up working something out, because we work with the entire community with whatever they want. But
right,
we've got everything from family groups to for sale for veteran companies. We let any of the members post this for sale group for free. We just posted out Cracking Skulls today into all of our groups. Kurt turned us on to them for their beard products. So we do a lot of posting like that, a lot of give back. We allow the only advertising really is veteran-owned companies.
Okay.
And even then we limit that so that everybody isn't overwhelmed.
Do you do affiliate sales with those veteran-owned companies?
No.
You should.
Well, we thought about that, but my logic at this moment is there's so much stuff out there that charges you for everything you need for being a small business. If you want to advertise on Google, they're going to charge you. If you want to, have a shout out on somebody's webcast or something, they're going to charge you.
Right.
So if we have a spot that someone can post something for free and they make a sale, great. If they make 10 sales, great.
Okay.
Our hope is that they'll talk about the community and bring people in return.
Got it. Okay, I see what you're saying. You're looking at it from a different direction.
Right.
Okay.
So it gives them an opportunity to post some stuff, gives them an opportunity to maybe make a sale where they didn't have to put a whole lot of money into advertising.
Do you give those businesses the opportunity for referral marketing sales as well?
I don't understand the statement.
Have you done any affiliate marketing for the app, for the community? So could I go get a link, share it, have 10 people join, and get money based off of that?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we have that.
Okay.
So we use URL Genius for that. Okay. And we have something along that lines coming up for our live streamers as well. Okay. So
you already, like, what kind of percentages are you taking on those?
So on the our super users, they can ask for a link. So the
Okay.
people that are always involved, things like that, they can ask for a link, and we'll give them their own custom link, and they can go out and they can share it.
Got it.
And we track that for the month coming in. And the top 3 get prizes. And those prizes we usually purchase from veteran-owned companies, but the top 1 gets 10% of everybody that was brought in that month.
Okay. And how many speakers are you bringing in each month? How many new people are you bringing in?
So we're not bringing in new people. What we have is let me phrase that. We bring in new people every season. This is the first time we've divided up by seasons.
What defines a season?
A number of episodes.
What is the number of episodes?
So the new number of episodes is 13.
Okay.
So, for example, let's say
Did it used to be 5?
We didn't have a limit.
Oh, okay.
So, and I didn't want to burn everybody out. So that's why I said, okay, we're going to create seasons and give everybody a break. So let's say that you were a host on one of our live streams.
Okay.
And your day was Saturday at 5 p.m.
Okay.
That's every Saturday at 5 p.m. you're coming in and doing something. So let's say you were.
Okay.
So, after a while, it's going to burn people out. So, and it also prevents us from changing up the material.
So that means for 13 weeks, I'm doing once a week?
Once a week for 13 weeks, right.
Okay. And do I get, I'm guessing I don't, but would I get paid for any of that?
Yes.
So I would get paid to go live in your community and talk about anything that's on that topic.
Right, and that's where we have our new affiliate league program for them.
Okay, and then how many people do you have doing that simultaneously?
We are aiming for 11 this season. We have 7 right now.
Oh, okay, so every day, sometimes twice a day.
Right. The goal is 3 times on Saturday, 3 times on Sunday, and once in the evening on the weeknights.
Okay. I would think you would shoot for just Monday through Friday would be 2, one morning, one evening, and then 3 on the weekends. I would do 2 on Sunday as well, just because, especially if you have religious people going to church in the mornings, they're already occupied, so you don't want to fill in that gap.
Right.
So I would probably limit Sunday a little bit. I might even take Sunday off, who knows? But yeah, definitely hit 3 on Saturday, maybe even 4, depending on the avenues. And so these people, they're, I guess you would call them experts. These guys are dispersed among all topics.
So each one has their own show, for lack of a better term.
Okay. Their own little mini series.
Their own little mini series.
Okay.
So, and when we first started last October, when we first started doing this, it was everybody. It was a free for all. So this year we have this season we have a little bit more structure.
Okay.
And I'll give you an example. I'll give you the list, for example. So Annette, with a wildlife, she does Monday nights. She'll be moving to 8:30 on Monday nights for an hour. And she running
your own little sitcom channel.
Yeah. So, and we find that the nights is better because most of our community is active in the evening, after work hours, things like that.
Okay.
So we're 8:30, 9 o'clock these shows. So Annette, a wild ride called Life on Monday. She does the veterans health and planning and things like that. And a lot of the ladies in the community love that because they all get together, talk about cooking or help, how to plan, how, make your life easier, things like that. We have a new one coming in starting this season, Daryl Walker. He's going to be doing Tales from the Duffel Blog. Duffel Bag, sorry. I keep saying Duffel Blog, Duffel Bag. He's a drill sergeant, so he's going to, we're going to have a lot of fun with that. Stories, it's for all the veterans. They can come in, chat, tell stories on deployment, and each episode has its own title and its own theme. So, for example, one episode is stress relief and porta-shitters, and one episode is tales of the enlisted, of the shit the enlisted pull. So, things like that on Wednesdays.
So, how many of those people though are, I guess, just like really famous in their networks?
So we don't want famous people.
Please elaborate.
I know that. I know that sounds.
Well, the reason I asked is because normally you would bring in someone who has a significant following, and they would bring their people with them.
Right.
Which would get more viewership for you, especially if you apply, right? Especially if you apply that exclusivity of that content to your network.
You're absolutely correct.
Right.
And again, we go a little differently. Okay. So I want to help use that platform that we have to help make people more popular.
You want to use the platforms.
So yeah, so
what you're saying is you're trying to elevate people already in the system, already in the pipeline. Okay.
Yes. We want to help them grow. That's why we call it partnerships. Because if we're growing, they're growing. If they're growing, we're growing. Okay. So if we can help each other out doing that, I find that more fulfilling at the end of the day than bringing in somebody who's got 1 million fans. Because honestly, those people that have 1 million fans are only there for that guy. They may stick around later, but they're really just there to see that person.
Yeah, but a surge of a surge of 10,000 people is not bad.
No, not at all. No, don't get me wrong. I'd love to get to that point with some of these with our live streamers that they have that background.
Right.
But my thought process is if we ever get there, let's say they have 100,000 followers, right? And they've been in the community for a couple years now. We've helped them grow, and they've helped us grow. It's a symbiotic relationship at that point, which is more than just a passing cash for trade for services.
Right. It's more of a family-oriented kind of connection as opposed to just a business transaction.
Right. So, and that's what we mean about the community. That's why we named it the community app. You know, so the French Foreign Legion. All right, I'm gonna go off on a tangent here.
Those fucking guys.
Those fucking guys. They have the best entry requirements of anybody.
And those are.
They don't care who you are. When you sign up, you give them whatever name you want. They don't care who you are. You can call yourself Big Dick Dog, or you can call yourself, Timmy. It doesn't matter. They don't care. Whatever you choose your name to be, that's your name until you choose to be otherwise. So you can be anything you want. So
okay.
So in our community, you can do the same thing.
So they don't have social security numbers in the French Foreign Legion?
No, when you sign up, well, let me phrase it. They have something. I don't know. But they allow you to choose your own name. So you don't have to use your name.
So what you're saying is it's kind of like a call sign in aviation.
Yes.
Okay.
So you can be whoever you want. We don't even ask for your name during registration. So we ask for the bare bones minimum by law that's required because we don't track or sell your information. I know another opposite way of people like Facebook and things like that. That's part of the benefit of having a
track. I don't know. You can't do anything unless you have data, but okay. So selling their information to advertisers, don't do that.
Yeah.
Shit. Yeah.
So literally all we do is we can see obviously what you like, the likes, things like that. But
you're
all
saying
of our
the engagement stuff, but none of that Zuckerberg level shit.
Exactly.
Got it.
One of the things we said when we set this up is we didn't want that. So part of the membership, part of our advertising is that we don't track that. That's what you pay for. So you have a ability to come in and be what you want. You can start over from scratch. And this is important because let's say you came in, Jared, and you wanted to be Maverick, just call sign, like we're talking about call sign. Okay, you want to be Maverick, okay.
On Zynga Poker, that is my fucking name.
Maverick. But here's the thing, because it's a community and everybody is more like each other and everybody is more like a brotherhood and a sisterhood in a community, you get to know everybody in the community. So we build our engagement off of that. We don't build our engagement off of a profile. This person went to this school or that school. Within a month or so, I guarantee you of joining our community, the community app, you will know 10 to 15 people. You will know their real names. You will know their families. You will know where they live, things like that. And you build those bonds inside the community like that.
Right.
Which
And
is,
so
it's really awesome.
it sounds like a phenomenal ecosystem. The thing that worries me is that you achieve such greatness within that small scope of things that you overlook the reality everywhere else.
You are absolutely right.
Because if you stopped posting on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, Pinterest, if you just stopped and you only lived within your ecosystem, you would totally ignore every one of your marketing opportunities that everyone else is going to ever use.
Yep. We almost, and I forget who told me not to do it, and I really wish I remember who told me not to do it. We almost shut down all of our Facebook groups.
Don't do it. There
Yeah.
you go. I just said it.
We almost shut down all of our Facebook groups.
Why?
Because we were tired of Adolf Zuckerberg.
I can see the desire to have your own controlled environment.
Right.
But also, it's going to be a hard sell for a lot of people to leave something as popular as Facebook.
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely an uphill battle every day.
Right.
But you know, we got to thinking about it.
You could also use like a Facebook group as the free community.
Right.
And then use the actual app as the paid
premium upgrade. Yeah.
Right. So then everything is premium inside the app, and then you got people also in the group, in the free group, talking about some shit that happened and went down in the app, and now they're selling the shit for you.
That's what we ended up doing. So we ended up talking about it and leaving them open because we have about 250,000 members in our free groups.
What?
Yeah. So why would, you
don't throw that away.
Yeah, don't throw it away is what it came down to. At first we're like, yeah, throw it away. We don't, we're getting away from this. But then we're like, yeah, don't cut your own throat.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because you'll never leave Facebook. You know Facebook owns 72 companies?
I know that now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't pay attention because until the world shuts down, I'm not going to get off of it. I actually stayed on here so I could talk to family because I was in Japan and shit. That's the only reason I stayed on here. And then I started a business, and then you have to be on social media to have a business. So now that I'm an entrepreneur, I'm never going to get off here. So my new plan is to grow to a point where I can have a guppy do all the work for me, and I don't have to actually be on here.
Yep, because every moment you're on there, that you are a dollar sign.
Right. You're a target, you're a dollar sign, everything you do. I actually just cleared my freaking I just cleared my history for Facebook the other day. I was pretty happy about it.
So, but yeah, that's where we are. But I mean, with these tips alone, just for the website for our apparel, I mean, these are going to be, if I can get these in play, a bulk of these in play by the end of the month, I think that's going to make a big difference coming around to the holiday season.
I think full implementation is going to take you about 6 months to really hammer it all down.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, by the end of the year, encroaching on, by the time we hit Valentine's Day, all of this shit should be hammered down. All of your processes should be streamlined. Everything should be mastered. And I would even think at that point you could probably begin looking at hiring people to begin taking over parts sectors as well.
Okay.
Because if you're getting 15 plus K a month, what's your overhead? $500?
No, my overhead is around for just the apparel or for everything. Total, I'm averaging about 75 to 8 a month.
So 50%.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, dude. You know what you could do? Now, I'm not going to toot my own horn here, but if you actually found a marketing agency to actually do all of this for you, Do you know how much they can really scale your business?
I've thought about that, but
I understand
there's a lot of fear there.
the fear that you're running into is uncertainty, because there's a lot of people out there that say they can do shit and can't really do shit.
Right.
We live in a world where anyone with a computer can be anything.
Yes.
Right. So you really want to make sure you get someone who's proven. That's key. But at the same time, though, if you were to actually hire one of those companies, how far could they take you? If you didn't have to do anything except for, scheduled designs to be coming out, and then focus on the vision, where are you taking the company? If that was your role and that's all you did, how awesome would that be for you?
That would be awesome. But at the same time, there's so many, like you said, people out there with computers. So, and I'm just going to throw a number out there because I've had all sorts of ends of the spectrum when I've talked for bringing in marketing and things like that.
Oh, you're talking about different proposals? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Everything from, and I'm just going to throw some numbers. Let's say $500 a month to $10,000 a month.
Yep.
And all of them say the same thing, which is probably true. All of them say the same thing. It's going to take time, 6 months, 8 months, a year. Okay, well, that is a $10,000 or $100,000 investment that you're not just going to say, okay, I'm going to do it this month, and if you show me some results, then I'm going to go with you again next month.
Right. So here's what you do. You test them. Hey, all you do is give them your website and, hey, I need a plan. What's the marketing plan? See what they come up with. See if they ask to see your data, right? Because you need to be tracking data for everything outside of your app.
Right.
And if you're not tracking anything, you're fucking stupid.
Right. We track everything on the apparel website.
Facebook Pixel, freaking Google Analytics. I would even throw in Hotjar, even more complex analyzing systems. But you definitely want to track every bit of that all the time. And so if you talk to these people, don't offer up anything. Don't offer, hey, do you want to see our Google Analytics? No, don't do that shit. See if they ask for it. If they don't ask you for a Google Analytics and they're telling you $10,000 a month, they're fucking crazy.
Right.
Because whoever you're going to work with is going to have to analyze where you are. And if they don't offer if they don't ask for anything, they're not the one. All day. They're just throwing some bullshit out there. The numbers are arbitrary. They probably won't deliver.
Right.
That's the reality of the situation, because people who can really deliver, they're going to want to analyze every aspect of everything, because they're going to want to provide the most value for you.
Right.
And
I think that's my fear. That's why I haven't done it yet.
Those are the people that you want to try to work with. Those people who have that proven track record will also show those positive capabilities throughout that process. I wouldn't give anybody $1 until they can at least sound like they know what the fuck they're talking about.
Yeah. Because I tell you what, even half of that. Let's say someone said, okay, it's going to be $20K and it's going to take a year. Still, that's a $20,000 investment. You don't know if it's going to pay off or not for 12 months. But I mean, you should see some rises. You should see something going on. But still.
Here's the reality. I mean, if I looked at your Facebook analytics and I discovered that you're not targeting your audience effectively, what's my move is I'm going to actually target the audience properly, right? I'm going to create multiple audience breakdowns. I'm going to make sure you're targeting every one of those people in a laser specific fashion. So the money that you're spending on advertising is now stretching further because you're getting in front of the right people the first time.
Right.
So just that alone could be something that's significant enough to increase your ROI for a marketing company. But that's one piece.
Right. There's so many pieces.
There's 1,000 different options throughout all of that you could look at. And it's just a matter of starting at square one and checking off all the boxes as you go through.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, that's why I haven't moved that way yet. It's just that fear.
Fear of what? Fear of spending money and it going nowhere?
Bingo.
Dude, I got friends who charge $25K a month for SEO.
Holy smokes.
Yeah, but you know what though? In a year's time, guess where you're going to be?
Right.
You're going to be number one forever. Like that's the difference. You could be number one in one. People.
I want to be number one tomorrow. It don't work like that.
No, that's never going to work like that. But see, the thing is people say, "Oh, I can make you number one on Facebook on Google." Okay, well, what if your search criteria, right? We were talking about tags earlier. The difference between having a long tag and a short tag, right? So if I make the search criteria for your website, smoke and bacon, T-shirts that make you scream. If that's what your search is, I can make you number one in a few days. Because that's insanely long. Right? It's those the really super long ones. They're easy to make you number one. That's where people. That's where people.
A funny shirt versus that long one.
Right, because people are going to search for funny short. There's more volume in it, but the amount of people that's going to say smoking bacon, Captain Morgan shirt, with the flaming boat.
Right.
Who's really going to be searching for that?
Right.
No, nobody. Well, it's going to be easy to be number one if no one else in the world is trying to SEO for that. That's the difference between some of these companies. Is some of them out there and be like, yeah, I'll make you number one. And then they show you the reports of that one keyword without showing you what the keyword is. You'd be like, yeah, I'm number one. Just spent $5,000. I'm number one. Yeah. What are you number one for? Oh,
that one keyword. Yeah.
We just took the Pirates of the Caribbean novel and we put it into Google as our search, and we're number one. Yeah, that's not gonna fucking work like that. So you really got to see what they're doing. You really got to see what their approach is, what their plan is. You really got to question everything that they're doing until they prove to you that they know their shit.
Okay.
It's no different between the SEO and the marketing and stuff like that. You really got to push people. And the people who fumble, some people are just not good at talking, right? But if you can see that and recognize that and listen to what they're saying behind it, maybe they're saying that there's a fucking mine of gold 5 feet from your front door. You don't know unless you listen, but you definitely got to be able to read the bullshit, read between the lines to be able to see who's being honest, who's being truthful, who's just trying to sell you some shit, and who's trying to fucking help you grow.
Right.
Those are humongous differences. So.
And obviously, we want to make sure that everybody, especially small businesses, spend that money that's most effectively as they can. Right. And I think everybody probably has the same fear is, what if I invest all this money and it doesn't go anywhere? And it can happen.
It could happen, especially if you pick the wrong person or you try to do the wrong thing. I've seen clients fail because they tried to do dumb shit. It's my job to educate them to don't do dumb shit.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
That's dumb. Don't do it. If you do it, whatever happens is on you.
Right. Yeah. Like I recommended to one of my clients, like, hey, your website needs to be ADA compliant so people who are blind can actually work on your website so they can buy shit. No, it doesn't. No, it does. I don't want that. Okay, well, here, sign this document that says you told me you didn't want it. Now I'm covered. You can go do whatever the fuck you want.
So that does bring an interesting question to mind, because this just popped up in the tribe the other day. If we have a few more minutes about the ADA.
Yeah, Justin was.
Yeah,
Justin and I have been talking about that quite a bit.
How do you ADA a visual shirt?
How do you ADA a visual shirt? Based on the tags, the title, and the content.
And I'd like to think I'm a pretty smart guy, but I just don't get it.
Well, blind people have to wear clothes too, right?
Right.
Okay. So the screen reader is going to tell them what's on that page. It's going to read the title. It's going to read the description. It's probably going to try to read the tags and the category and stuff like that. It's going to give all of that information.
Okay. Because I was thinking to myself.
Well, you could put a fucked up picture in there that has absolutely nothing to do with it.
Right.
Right. But the actual text is, and some of the code behind the scenes is what's going to be read.
See, and that was my thought, because if it's just reading off the screen, you can put anything on there. How does it know that?
There's no way for a blind person to order a shirt and make sure they got the right shirt. Right? It's going to be really hard to do. The only thing that they can do is their fingers. Their fingers are freaking magic, right?
Oh yeah.
So they would be able to feel what the design is, and they would be able to visualize what that looks like.
So when it comes to that ADA on the website in regards to blind people and like shirts, it's all about the verbiage that they're going to get. It's not about the design of the shirt itself. That makes a whole lot more sense.
That is correct.
So
right. Well, just think of colorblind people, right? If you have, do you know anything about color codes, like hex values?
Yes, the hex values.
Okay, so gray comes in like 35,000 different versions.
Right.
But the gray for web colors is like a 333, 666, and a 999, right? But each one of those grays and all the combinations in between to someone who's colorblind might look the same.
Okay.
So making sure that there is a significant contrast for lightness and darkness helps them to see what's going on, right? You don't want to use a black shirt with black text. As cool as that sounds, that's not going to help them, especially if they're colorblind for black.
Right, because some of our shirts, for example, are the muted colors where they're very close.
Right, and so what you want to do is you want to make sure you actually explicitly state this color with this color, because if they can't see that color, then that helps you identify what those colors are, right? Heather gray and a light gray.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense then.
It does.
So okay. Yeah, it makes more sense now.
That's why all of that shit is expensive.
Oh yeah. That's scheduled for next year. So.
Dude, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Just keep it on your radar. That's all I'm gonna say, because we got people starting to get sued that are close to us.
Yep.
So as soon as they start recognizing that there's lots more people out there not doing this, they're gonna start attacking every time.
They're gonna put a lot of people out of business.
Oh yeah. So. Yeah, and think of how many people out there who are sole proprietors who don't actually have an established entity. Dude, those guys are fucked.
Oh yeah.
You can easily lose your house, your car, all that shit. But, yeah, dude, I don't want to get on an ADA tangent because we'll never fucking leave. But I mean, just there's all kinds of stuff like that that's important to just pay attention. And most of the shit is just looking at it from a different angle, right?
Absolutely.
Like most of the shit that you got on your list there is just looking at it through a different lens.
Yeah, that's really what it is.
Right. It's the same end goal. It's the same concept, but it's just tweaking it just enough.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, hell, I can tell you that this has been great, Jared. I mean,
yeah, man.
I got enough work here with my OCD to keep me busy a while.
Yeah, dude. I'll talk to you again in like 9 months.
Okay. Yeah.
Something like that.
If not sooner.
Yeah. We'll see how it plays out. Well, dude, we still got like 15 minutes left. Is there anything else you want to discuss?
I think I got enough on my plate to address right now. So, yeah, I think I got enough.
Well, if you weren't prepared, now you are.
Yes, definitely a ton of information to address.
Yeah, dude. Awesome, man. So, I know you got a lot of avenues. You're out there a lot on different platforms and whatnot. So, what's your website? What's your social media? What's your app? How do people find you?
So the website is smokeandbacon.com. The app is the Smoke and Bacon app. You can download it on iTunes.
iPhone.
Apple and Google Play. We also have the new streaming radio that we have that we'll be bringing online. It's online right now, but we'll be doing more with it by the end of the year. So,
is that like a podcast?
No, we actually have a radio station.
Okay.
So,
shit, dude. We didn't even talk about that.
No, we didn't even get to that. So there's Smoke and Bacon Media, which is the canopy over everything else.
Okay.
So, but like, again, the radio station, we're going to offer low cost radio ads for veteran-owned companies. So, because a lot of people can't afford that. You can't afford a few $1,000s a month for that. But if I can charge you $150, $200 and throw your radio ad up there for the month a half a dozen times, if you get something, great.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay, cool. Hey, make sure to just shoot me all of those links, and I'll actually put them in the podcast description and in the Facebook video and shit.
Perfect. I'll send those to you in a little bit.
I just copy and paste that shit, plug it in. That way everyone's got it. So now the fun question. So it's quite apparent. You say you got a lot of stuff to do. You enjoy the conversation and stuff like that. So if you had to put a price on the phone call, what would that be?
For this one today?
Yes. For as much value as you received, for as much knowledge as we've talked about, just across the board, if you were paying for this, how much would you expect to pay?
So, because this is the first time I've done something like this, please don't shoot me. Knowing what I know now, I would easily pay $3.99 to $4.99 for this call.
Okay. And that is awesome.
I mean, is that a fair number?
I'm actually going to charge $250.
Oh well, hell yeah! Then hell yeah, I'd pay $250 for this.
Yeah, dude. Because normally I hold a discovery process, and I do a deep dive and go and find all of your problems and provide solutions for all of them. That normally starts at like $3K. So this is the condensed version of that.
Well, maybe beginning of next year, after I've around Valentine's Day, like you said, after I've tried to tackle all this, we're going to circle back.
Are those numbered?
No. So I'm going to go after some low-hanging fruit first.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, maybe around Valentine's Day, after I'm going to set a goal for Valentine's Day to have all this taken care of, or at least what I think is taken care of, then we'll circle back to each other and maybe do that deep dive then.
Yeah, dude. I'm all for it.
So, all right.
Yeah, man. Well, this has definitely been an awesome call. I'm actually going to be putting this on YouTube. I'll take the audio, extract it, throw it on the podcast. And if you want the video as well, just let me know. I'll send it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Awesome. Hey, everyone. This is Wade Saxton from Smoke and Bacon Conglomerate, if you will. Talking about his business, Smoke and Bacon. And I am Jared, Digital Battlefield. We're saying bye. We're sending our love, and we're going to go have a drink. So, all right, everyone. Have a good one. We'll see you next time on Digital Diagnosis.